that experience would have been read thousands of times. I mean, it was 750 years BC. They had 750 years of reading it from generation to generation. It's quoted all over the place. That doesn't make necessarily a lot of sense to us, except in the context, if you read the previous chapter, if you read Isaiah 5, woe to you! Woe to you! Woe to you! And all of a sudden when he sees God, what does he say? Woe is me. I'm a man of unclean lips that lives among people of unclean lips. Well, there's a revelation for you. I'm no better than anybody else. And the angel comes along and says, "'Tis true. We're all guilty. We're not going to major on guilt. We're going to major on mercy, grace, and getting you sorted." Would you like that, Isaiah? Lord, here I am. Yeah, I'm in for that. I mean, look at the experience. I mean, things are shaking. There's smoke. I mean, it's like, to be honest with you, my imagination isn't that good. Again, it's helpful when you when you can. I understand not everybody can get into a lot of Bible study and stuff like that. That there's a lot of people with different schedules, but I always believe that God will give us the time to spend with Him, to wait on Him, to reveal more to us, that kind of thing. I really believe that. Why am I mentioning that again in relationship to this? Because something that wouldn't necessarily be known is that King Uzziah, he was on the throne 52 years. He's considered second only to Solomon in terms of the greatest kings. He was a great guy. He fell apart in the end, made a big mistake. But that was at the end of his 52-year reign. He was a good guy. He was a good king. He ran that country and everything was really good. I have heard people, their whole sense of security in America right now, or insecurity, is based on Donald Trump, our politicians, the economy, the company they work for. I hear all kinds of things. See, I don't think, me personally, that when Isaiah says, in the year King Uzziah died, I don't think he's just trying to give us a framework. Well, if you go and check when he died, you know what year I had. I don't believe that. I believe he's saying the year that my trust died in a man, God was able to meet me so I could renew my trust in Him. Once I got Uzziah off the throne of my heart, then he could enthrone my heart, and I could see the king. And I could see him high and lifted up. And when I saw that, the foundation of everything was shaken. All that can be shaken will be shaken except the kingdom of God. See, I believe that part of that very opening statement is Isaiah's way of saying to us, when I learned to stop trusting in things that are not deserving of my trust, I was able to put my trust in the Lord again. You would remember, I think, when Taylor Music Centers went out of business. The thing I want to share is this, that on a Monday morning I was called into the boss's office, and because of the way they were restructuring, filing a Chapter 11, my end of the business, the educational end of it, was one of the first things that were going to be chopped. So he's letting me know that on Friday you'll receive a paycheck and that'll be your last one. So I had a wife and a kid and a house with a mortgage. My first thought was, what am I going to do? And it was one of my first, I wouldn't say it was a burning bush or a, high and lifted up experience, but it was one of the first times God spoke very, very clearly to my heart. So clear I knew it was God. What am I going to do? Well, the same thing you've always done. I just lost my job. He says, you don't work for him. He wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for me. You work for me. I didn't fire you. And I felt a tremendous weight lifted and fear and concern. And it was like, silly boy. He said, yeah, well, you're still attached to, the breast. You're still on milk. You'll learn these things. Just continue to trust me. And I've got a really good testimony that I won't take time now because it would take too long, about what happened from that day forward and the way God supplied for our family. And I'm saying God supplied because it was directly from God. You see, the point is that we can, in a funny way, be trusting someone or something and not even know it. I didn't know my trust was in Taylor Music Centers and Alan Burr. I didn't know that. I didn't think that way. I would have told you, I trust God. You're fired. What am I going to do? You know how that works? I mean, I'm sure we've all been there. For Uzziah, this was a trust thing. Once he realized, he got back into the trust factor, God's able to give him something, and we know he not only received it, but we know that. Because what does he say when God says, who am I going to send? Me, send me, send me. Here I am, send me. He was not looking at this situation as one of, wow, that was cool, and walked away.